As we near the end of another week of the legislative session, I thought I'd give you another update. Things started out, as I mentioned earlier, reports that we had quite a lot of promise, I think, with getting things done quite early, which the House has managed to do, but things have kind of come to a grind, if you will. A lot of it has to do with the Senate having trouble getting a budget together or even a tax bill, but we're hopeful that something's going to come out. As far as budget goes, the House passed a rescission bill quite early, making adjustments to the 2017 budget in which we would close what's now a $270 million gap. The Senate has managed to do that. That bill's now in conference, so they'll try to iron out the difference, and that has already started, so we're hopeful that that will get taken care of. The Senate's still having trouble getting a tax bill. As I mentioned, the House passed a tax bill quite early and pretty much established, our position, if you will. And the Senate now has to come up with something fairly close to that. I believe they are, really struggling with that, and it's just the makeup of the Senate making that difficult. Earlier this week, the governor signed the bill for the tax exemption for those that experienced loss and damage during the recent wildfires. I attended that bill signing, and the governor was giving reports, and of course all the other agencies involved. It's been quite a road for a lot of those people that are experiencing those losses. Kansas Livestock Association has raised about $600,000 thus far with their foundation. And also, if you go to the Kansas Department of Revenue, you can get a lot more information on that, contributing and so forth. The last count they had on cattle losses, there's estimates anywhere from 4,000 to 6,000 head of cattle have been lost. And that's going to be really hard to kind of determine that. They're also still trying to come up with some figures on the actual damages. Immediately after that signing, the governor was asked if he was going to support or sign a Medicaid expansion bill. He indicated he would not. Very disappointed to hear that, because I think that would definitely solve a lot of our budget issues. Mind you, the House has already passed a Medicaid expansion bill, kind of waiting on the Senate to follow suit. The tax situation, coming up with a new tax bill. The Senate, as I mentioned, is still working on that. House taxation committees had hearings on the flat tax, and apparently there's not a lot of interest in that. I'm on the Appropriations Committee, and we already started work on the 2018 and 2019 budgets, and had hearings and so forth on that. And then today we had a gaming bill in there as far as expanding gaming to open up the dog and horse tracks again, and that's been an interesting process there. But I don't have a real solid feel, I guess, for how that's going to come out of that Appropriations Committee. But we continue our work on the budget, and hopefully we'll get something there. Next week's going to be a lot of conference committees, because bills that have crossed from one house to another are starting to get to the point where they need to get into the conference committee, where negotiators will put their heads together and try to iron out those differences. That's your update for this week. Thanks for listening.